Hi guys! So today I'm going to do a video about a question that I get asked the most. How to make money through blogging. So when I started blogging, things were a little different. We didn't even know if you could make money through blogging and vlogging and things like that. It was more of a hobby. But today in 2019, everybody who starts blogging or vlogging, the first question they ask me at events or online is, how do I make some moolah through this? And it's actually pretty simple. There are 4 or 5 ways through which bloggers and vloggers make their money, and today I'm going to be entirely transparent and clear about all those ways, and hopefully this will help you understand how I make money, and if some of you are looking to blog or vlog, it'll help you make some money. Now, the first way to make money through your blog or vlog is by monetizing your content. Now, most people actually don't know this, or they forget about this. It's the best way to make money through blogging or vlogging initially, especially when brands are not going to pay you to promote their content. This is how you start off. So when I started YouTube, you had to have a certain number of subscribers to monetize your content. And I think that still holds even now. I think they changed it back. Earlier it was, anyone could start their channel and monetize. Now it's a certain number. So if you check the guidelines, you will find out exactly what number that is. But once you hit that number, you can monetize all your content if it is copyright free again. So make sure you're not using any copyrighted music or things like that in your content, because that will not allow you to monetize your content. If it's all your actual original content, you can monetize it, which is a great way to make money for someone who wants to focus on organic content, especially when you're starting out, because brands are not going to come and approach you and ask you, pay you to actually promote their content initially. On a blog, if you're on Blogspot or WordPress, things like that, you can add AdSense and run ads on your blog and monetize it. Now, the one thing you want to keep in mind with monetization is that it is a very small amount, very teensy amount. It's not going to be a lot of money, but it's something, and it's the best way if you want to keep things organic. So for someone like me who doesn't do a lot of brand deals and I do more organic content, at least my monetization is a constant source of income, and you kind of control it, right? Because I put out the content that I want to put out and not because I'm partnering with a brand or things like that. So I feel like that's a great way to work if you're into content creation, because you create content and you make money creating content that you love and not just for brands. Number 2 is the most obvious one, brand deals. Okay, now brand deals are really tricky. There are a few pointers I have for you guys, because I've been in the business for a few years and I've learned through my experiences, so I hope this will help you guys. So the first way to collaborate with brands is where a brand approaches you. They tell you, okay, this is my product, this is my service, please promote it on your platforms, and a blogger or a vlogger will charge them to promote it depending on what the content is. So if it's on Instagram, for example, it could either be a still image, it could be a story post, a video. If it's on YouTube, it's obviously a video, and it could be an exclusive video for a product or service, or it could be an integration in a video, mention or things like that. So there are various ways to collaborate with brands. So you've got to really know your stuff before you start that. So I would say focus on your content initially, make great content so that brands come to you and say, okay, I want to work with this person. Unfortunately, today it is a bit about numbers. Initially when I started, if you had 10,000 subscribers, you were like, oh my God, you have 10,000 subscribers. That's amazing. And now today, even when you have 1 million, people are like, that's cool. Let's go. So things have changed a bit in terms of numbers. So brands also want to obviously partner with people who have bigger numbers, and because of that, I'm going to say this first up: do not buy followers. That does not work. Do not buy followers. You want to earn your following, and you want genuine people to follow you, because as a blogger or a vlogger, I've talked about this extensively in other videos earlier. I've done a lot of blogging tips and things like that, which I will make a playlist here and link for those of you who are interested in. Before watching this video, watch that. So create good content is tip number 1 when it comes to brand deals, and the brands will hopefully approach you. Tip number 2 is grow your numbers. Now, grow your following organically and make it a community that genuinely loves the kind of content you put out, because that really helps with engagement, and people genuinely enjoy that exchange of dialogue, and people should be able to voice their opinions, their concerns, or likes and dislikes, and it should be a community of people that likes a certain type of content. The next tip is start small. So when you're starting out, maybe work with startups, smaller brands that are in the same league as you, and you know, they're not looking at spending a lot of money, or they don't have big budgets for like really big bloggers and vloggers. They want someone smaller to kind of, you know, work with them. And the best thing about that is you will grow with them. So today when you work with a startup, in a couple of years when you're bigger and they're bigger, they're going to remember you and say, oh yeah, this person did some amazing content for us when, you know, they had just started out and we had just started out, and then they will probably hire you again in the future. So that would be my advice to like new bloggers and vloggers for sure. Okay, now we have the most important tip when it comes to brand deals. Do not be a sellout. Okay guys, this is very tempting and it's very easy to turn into a sellout, because as you grow, you will have tons and tons of brands and services approaching you saying, I will give you this much money, promote this, I will give you that much money, promote this. That is not going to work. You need to have a structure in place, have a voice. When you are a content creator, you have to have a strict list of do's and don'ts. Luckily for me, because I had been modeling before I started this, I already kind of knew how the industry works on a basic level, and I was older, so I kind of already had my personality in place, and I knew what I was comfortable with doing and what I wasn't comfortable with doing. So I think you have to have that for sure when you're starting to work with brands. You have to know what you're comfortable doing and what you're not comfortable doing. So for example, I do not do fairness products. I have a no whitening product policy in place in any collaboration. If there's the word whitening in the whole situation, I'm out of it. I don't usually promote alcohol because I just feel like a lot of you are underage and watching. Things like that, I feel like you have to know what you're okay with doing and what you're not okay with doing, and you have to stand by it no matter how much money is offered to you or no matter what the opportunity is. So like very often I get offered luxurious trips with an alcohol brand, and that's the only time it hits me and I feel like, oh my god, I so want to go on this trip. But then I think about it and I'm like, no Sherry, principles, be the person you want to be. And then I say, I'm sorry, but I don't promote alcohol on my platforms because I have a really young audience. So those are things you have to kind of stick to when you're in a position. You have to be a little more responsible because you're creating content for people. People are watching you, people are taking something from your content. So you have to be a little responsible at that point. So do not become a sellout. Do things that you're comfortable with and do things that are genuinely you. Again, talk about products and services that you genuinely use. So I feel this happens a lot, where people just do any collaboration that comes along because they are like, oh, you know, it's just more money. But if you're doing this long term, like I've been doing this for what, 6-7 years now, and I'm so glad I have my priorities in place, because it kind of helps me to just say no to something immediately without even thinking, because I'm just like, no, that's not me. In the long run, you don't want to lie to your audience, or just, you know, like there's so many, I don't want to take any names, but there's so many bloggers or vloggers who are promoting a new cream every day, a new makeup item every day, and I mean, it's cool, I to each his own, but I just feel like it's not genuine, and as an audience you know that too. So I just feel like when you're in this position, you have to promote things that you genuinely use and stand by. So that is definitely my tip. Do not become a sellout. Okay, so the last tip when it comes to brand deals is be present on as many platforms as possible. Now, what this does is it actually gives you more platforms to do deals on. So for example, with me, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. I was on Google Plus also when it was alive, and God knows how many other platforms. So yeah, make sure you're on as many platforms as possible, even though one will be your primary platform. Like for me, YouTube is my primary platform, but like if you have a blog, obviously your blog will be your primary platform, but make sure you're present on social media as well, because that gives you opportunity to monetize in different ways. So it could be like an Instagram still image, or like you see the paid partnership on Instagram whenever I do a paid partnership with a brand, so that's a brand deal. on Instagram exclusively and has nothing to do with YouTube. So if I were only on YouTube, I would not be able to do those. So I would say my advice to you is be present on as many platforms as possible, because that gives you more opportunities to do brand deals. Also, the thing with platforms is we don't know what lives and what dies. It's like, you know, suddenly, like just now TikTok just vanished and a lot of TikTok stars were like, oh my god, like what do I do now? So I mean, I don't think YouTube will ever like shut down, hoping, but you know, like you never know what happens, like never say never. So then at least you're on other platforms, or like today, like Instagram is really hot right now, but like in 3 years it might be something else. So you have to stay relevant and you have to be on those platforms, because you don't know which platform is going to be successful when. Okay, the newest entrant in the Indian market is affiliate links. Now, a lot of you don't know how this works. A lot of you probably haven't even heard the term. An affiliate program basically is where you partner with a website or you know, a company, and you get a percentage of revenue based on the number of products that people buy through the link that you share on your platforms. So recently, Nykaa and Amazon have both just launched affiliate programs that I've joined, and a lot of people have joined. So you will probably see a lot of people pushing a lot of Nykaa products on their platforms now, saying buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that, because they're making a commission off of it. And I think there's pros and cons to affiliate programs. The pro is that it's again a great way to manage organic content, like you control what you put out. So similarly, whenever I share links, it's links of products I genuinely use, and it's stuff that I would anyways be sharing with you. So for example, in my favorites videos where I share my favorite products with you, I would, if there's a chance I could link a product on the site that I'm an affiliate to, obviously I would do that, because anyways I'm telling you guys that I love this product and I'm putting a link there. So I feel like if it's done in a genuine, controlled manner, it's great. But a lot of people go nuts with it. That's the biggest con, where I feel like suddenly on my Instagram, everybody is just asking me to, like, you know, buy something. Like as you go through your stories, it's just like buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. And because Nykaa has launched an affiliate program, so has Amazon, and I think there are a couple of other sites as well. So those are things you want to be careful about. Like you don't want to become someone who's constantly just, you know, pushing affiliate links for the sake of making money. You want to actually push genuine links of products that you use, because that's a great way to like push your organic content and still make money. Okay, next up we have appearances. Now this is again a slightly new model that people work on. So a lot of big bloggers and vloggers, basically content creators, charge to attend events and like certain events where they don't want, like today if it's a new brand for example and you have no connection with the brand and they invite you, yeah, obviously you have the option to go to a party if you want to, but a lot of brands want certain people at their parties, so they pay like bloggers or vloggers to come and attend that party. So there's two types. There's just like they pay people to just attend sometimes, or they pay people to attend and post like a certain number of posts on your social media and things like that. Again, this is great if you genuinely like those kind of products, or you're, you know, excited to try a new brand, things like that, but you can't do it a lot because it's just going to be otherwise event after event, and that's all you're going to see on your platforms, which again, it has to be done in a controlled manner. Number 5, which is again something that's old and new. So there's online stores and merchandising basically. Now I started out, a lot of you probably don't know this, but when I started my blog Fashionalized, I started out with selling a lot of stuff online. So I used to sell things on my Facebook page. So I used to import stuff from all over the world and then I would curate it here and sell it. Which was a way to monetize my blog then, because there was no brand deals and no money at that point. So that's what I used to do earlier, and a lot of people used to do that initially. The other way now is, of course, you can do a deal with a brand, do a collaboration, do a clothing line, do a makeup line, do any of those kind of things. Or you can have a merchandise store with your merchandise. That's another way to monetize your content. But for these two to work, you really need numbers. So I don't think if you're starting out, yeah, you could do it with a store. That's a great way to grow your audience, because more people will be interested if you have quirky things in your store, if you curate stuff like I did from different places. So I never manufactured anything. I just kind of sourced items from different parts of the world that I thought were interesting and fashionable, and then I resold them. So that was how I kind of started out. You can do that if you're starting out, and if you're growing and you're bigger, then you have the option to do like your own merchandise or align with someone. So guys, that's how I make money, and hopefully how you will make money. I hope this kind of give you an insight into the vlogging world and how bloggers actually make money, because most people think it's this big mystery. Well, there are only a few ways of doing it. If you're starting out, please remember my pointers. Do not become a sellout. Stay true to who you are, and always remember my mantra: the content is king. So guys, if you like this video or you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Also, if you have any more questions related to this, leave them in the comments and I will try and answer each one personally, promise. Check out my last video here, subscribe here, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.